Hey everybody, welcome to Players Code Talks Wrestling. Sorry this episode comes out a little later than normal. It's been a wacky couple days. We're going to dive right in. So, this is for Raw, the week of the 19th. Once again, spoiler warning. We talk about this show outside of kayfabe. So we talk about it as behind the scenes stuff. So if you don't know it, if you don't want to hear about it, just turn the show off. So, this week, we're in the UK, London, the O2 Center. There's a reason. Anyway, the intro video gets cut off by the Wyatts, and we see Bray sitting in the ring. Apparently, the Wyatts are very over in the UK. It's the fans are all like it's 16,000 people singing, and later on when there's actually a match and the Wyatts do their entrance, all the fans are holding like their phones up as lights, and it's really cool looking. So it's really awesome to see him really over in the UK, even though he's pretty over here. Bray cuts a great promo, just basically the same kind of stuff, talking about the Last Man Standing match at Payback that's happening and all that. Really good promo. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. The crowd is very, very, very behind Bray Wyatt. There was a kind of somewhat chance, I think, trying to go, but Bray Wyatt, he's awesome. Cena's music hits. Bray sends Rowan and Harper up the ramp to meet Cena, but surprise, Cena comes from behind him and hits him with the AA, and then runs like a chicken shit. So yeah, that kind of opens up the show. I'll give more of this when we actually get to the later segment with Cena and Wyatt, because they're actually the main event this week instead of Shield Evolution. Cesaro and Heyman in the ring, and Heyman is doing everything he can to make the crowd hate him, but it's not easy. The crowd is kind of chanting along with the my client thing. Like he'll go to do it and the crowd will do it with him. He's trying his best to make the crowd hate him, but the crowd is just enjoying it, weirdly enough. So I'm not sure what they're doing there. Cesaro versus Sheamus. Match seemed just a little off, just a little slower than these guys normally run. Still a decent match, it just felt slow. And you hear me say that a couple times because a lot of these matches felt that way. And I don't know why. Maybe it was just because, I don't know why. Cesaro's becoming more and more heel, which is nice that they finally made a decision on his direction. He's starting to, he's rolling out of the ring. He's arguing with the ref. He's becoming more and more of a heel, which is okay. That's fine. I was okay if they went either way, if they wanted to keep him face or if they wanted to make him heel. I didn't really care. I just wanted them to pick a goddamn direction. So we're finally getting a path, at least for now, and so that makes me happy. And apparently at Payback, we're getting Sheamus versus Cesaro for the United States title. So I don't know if Sheamus was just a transitional champion for them to put the U.S. title on Cesaro or what. But we are going to get to see that match at Payback. So that's interesting. Heyman distracts the ref, and Cesaro gets a German suplex pin. Not a bad match, extremely physical. Cesaro actually refuses to shake Heyman's hand after the match. So that was kind of a nice little heel bit. But not a bad match. Just kind of slow. It just felt a little like a half step slow or something like that. I don't know. I just am off about it. A lot of people are kind of tired of Cesaro, which is weird because he was the greatest thing since sliced bread at WrestleMania. So I'm not sure why everybody's kind of turned their nose up at Cesaro now. Maybe just because he doesn't have much to do. So hopefully his feud with Sheamus will be something. Kind of weird because we were getting RVD and we were getting Cesaro, and yeah, I don't know. They're changing their minds a lot and working. It's weird. Yeah, it's just a strange time right now with everything going on with Daniel Bryan being hurt, the company having the stock issues that it's having. I don't know if that affects on-screen product or not, but it's something that's happening. Vince McMahon kind of being under a lot of fire right now. We know McMahon likes to change his mind constantly anyway. So it's just a very kind of shaky time right now. Shield versus Evolution at Payback will be no holds barred elimination match. And then tonight we'll also see Seth Rollins, or on this night we also saw Seth Rollins versus Batista. That was later on. But yeah, so they made the Shield versus Evolution match a no holds barred elimination match. Man, I can't talk. So that's gonna be cool. At least it's something a little different, even though they kind of went pretty hardcore at Extreme Rules. This one should be, I don't know. It kind of gives the Evolution a lot of room to screw the Shield. So we'll have to see how that goes. Oh, right. They are doing on Raw this week. They did beat the clock matches. They did 3 of them, and whoever the fastest time would be facing Bad News Barrett for the Intercontinental title at Payback. And the crowd was wanting Barrett all night long. They're UK fans. The first beat the clock match was Big E versus Ryback. Goldberg chants for Ryback. I like Ryback. He's kind of an interesting guy. I like he's getting more and more of a personality with Axel. Since the Ryback, they're kind of becoming more and more of an actual tag team. Although they keep putting these guys in the match, it's like, oh, Ryback's in the 20-man over the top battle royal for the U.S. title. Well, considering they're still a tag team, most likely they're not going to put the belt on one member of the tag team. I mean, it's happened before, but And then it's like, oh, Ryback's in the Beat the Clock challenge for the IC title belt. Yeah, they're probably not going to put the belt on Ryback or push him too far. But anyway, doesn't really matter. Not a bad match. These two guys, pretty physically. I'm just not a big fan of. I'm not a Big E guy. He just doesn't do it for me. He doesn't. His in-ring ability is okay. He just doesn't have a lot of personality. There's not a lot of storytelling within the match from Big E. Big E does hit the big ending and win at 5 minutes and 2 seconds. So he sets the bar for the Beat the Clock matches. Oh, God. So R-Truth comes out rapping. He's back to rapping. He comes out with the Funkadactyls. Whoever thought of that rap gimmick really should be shot. Yeah, it's terrible. And then we get Fandango. God damn it. The crowd loves it. They're all Fandangoing, though, when he comes out. But we get the surprise return of Summer Rae. So Fandango and Layla are in the ring doing their thing, and then Summer Rae's music hits. She rushes the ring, plants the lip lock on Fandango, who didn't seem to resist too much, and then jumps Layla. So really, R-Truth of the Funkadactyls had no reason to be there. This could have been a backstage segment. But no. We had to bring her out to the ring. Apparently this has something to do with Total Divas and advancing the storyline in Total Divas. So I don't really give a shit. I don't know what it is. I just don't like Fandango. I don't know. It's just weird. Daniel Bryan's music plays, but Stephanie comes out. She teases Bad News Barrett, but actually only rolls a video clip of him saying, "I've got bad news." So the crowd gets really excited, and then doesn't get excited. Is upset. I guess this section was heavily edited, and that's the thing. I do want to say that if you guys actually did watch this show, this show was on a tape delay because it was filmed in London, and that's like 8 hours ahead of us, maybe more, maybe less. Can't really exactly remember. But I guess the part where Stephanie comes out and talks about what she's gonna do with Bryan was heavily edited because I guess there were very loud. Well, actually, let me start with this. She basically kind of starts like, we could take the belts off of Bryan and I could put them on Bad News Barrett. Crowd goes nuts. I could put them on Batista. Crowd gets pissed. And Triple H, crowd gets pissed. The crowd then proceeds to chant very, very, very loudly, CM Punk. And they go off, and so they actually edited that out when we saw it over here in the States. But it is very obvious if you go watch the unedited footage that got leaked online. Interesting that they're finally taking steps to eliminate the CM Punk chants. Whether or not that means anything, I don't know. They're gonna have some fucking work to do in Chicago come Payback next weekend if they want to edit out CM Punk chants. So we'll see how that goes. But she says, yeah, Stephanie says she's not going to strip Daniel Bryan of the belts, but she expects him to show up on Raw next week to surrender the belts himself. Rumors are they actually are going to take the belts off of him. Just rumor, though. No fact behind it or anything like that. It's purely speculation that they actually are going to take the belts and have him kind of come back into the main event picture once he is fully healthy. They're thinking more long-term health than anything else. But like I said, it's all conjecture. So we'll have to wait and see for that, just like the WWE is doing. The 3MB are actually apparently the Union Jacks on this night. They come out and decked out in full. I don't know if this was a thing that I missed, where 3MB was a different group called the Union Jacks, or this is something they did to play to the crowd. But I said talk about pandering, and then Lana comes out to introduce Rusev. She's so hot. Lana talks shit about the English, then proceeds to talk shit about the Americans. It's a good way to generate heat, but it's really cheap heat. Think Muhammad Hassan. It's just you can't really get away from it at that point because everybody remembers you as the guy who hates America, and Americans don't like that. So I don't know. Rusev versus Heath Slater. The bell didn't even ring, and Rusev had laid out Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre. The match starts and ends in 20 seconds. I'm actually starting to get bored of Rusev because they're not doing anything with him. The whole thing where Big E came out last week and made the save. Nothing this week. Big E's involved in a Intercontinental title match. Nothing happens here with him and here with Rusev and him. It seems like that's been dropped completely. I don't know why. That would have given him something to do instead of just coming here and squash guys. I seriously think I've recorded. This is the third episode of Players Code Talks, and I think we've been watching Rusev squash people for about a month now. Over that, longer than that. I'm getting bored. If you want to keep us interested, give him somebody who can actually, wrestle. Not to say the other guys can't wrestle. Give him somebody that will make him have to wrestle, make him show his abilities, push him to the limit. Give him somebody that can actually have a good match with him, so we can actually see what this guy can do instead of the 15 to 20 seconds we see him beat the shit out of people. I'm bored. I'm bored. Shield promo. This was actually smart. Last week because they've been doing the whole European tour right now. Reigns and Orton ended up colliding heads in a match, and Roman Reigns busted his eye wide open, right above the eye. It took like 20 some stitches to close, and they actually used it as in the storyline, like how oh, Orton, you gave me this. Is this the best you got? Basically just talking shit to the Shield. You guys know I mark out for the Shield hard. I love the Shield. So Shield promo, fucking awesome. Yeah, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, fucking great. So second beat the clock match of the night, RVD versus Alberto Del Rio. RVD apparently actually hurt his shoulder during the tour, but didn't miss any matches. But was kind of holding back on a few things to protect the shoulder. Although he did end up hitting Rolling Thunder. But it was because he actually looked like he was going for Rolling Thunder at one point, and then turned into a leg drop. So he was doing a few things to protect the shoulder, but he hadn't missed a match. So good on RVD. People love him in London. All the big chants and the shoulder pointing and all of that. People love it there. So what they were doing in these beat the clock matches, where they'd have like one guy or both guys cut like a little mini promo, and they throw up a picture-in-picture. Now Del Rio's was probably by far the most interesting because he says that the fate of the world, the fate of the next generation of children, is on his shoulders tonight. So he has to win, so he can become Intercontinental Champion, so that the world can be saved by Alberto Del Rio. I bitched about how he didn't have a gimmick, and didn't have a direction. If that's what we're gonna go with, maybe we should just leave him with non-talkingness. So maybe we should do that. It was weird. It sounded weird. Yeah, RVD won with a roll up. He didn't even hit the 5-star. So RVD hit a roll, won with a roll up at 4 minutes and 15 seconds, eliminating Big E. And that's the thing. I said maybe it's because he's hurt, but he still isn't performing too well. The match felt awkward. All these matches tonight kind of felt a little awkward. It was just, it felt, like I said, it felt kind of slow. And I haven't been the biggest fan of RVD for the past couple of weeks. Still not. But it wasn't just him tonight. So, John Cena interview. Cena is inviting the Usos to ringside to be his backup against the Wyatts. Sorry, and I said, man, I can't wait till the Usos have their own feud back, because literally those tag belts are just sitting there, and it's starting to look more and more like Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper are gonna be the ones taking on the Usos for the tag belts at some point. But man, the Usos were up. I mean, they're still tag champions, but I really wonder what happened if something like Ryback did something, or if the Usos did something, or somebody just went, you know what, we're putting the tag belts on hold for now, and we'll get back to them later. I wonder if like maybe Jay was actually really hurt, or yeah, Jay was the one that hurt his leg. Maybe he was actually hurt and needed time to rest, so they kind of cooled off the tag division. But they have cooled it off hard, and I'm waiting for the Usos to get back. And then they do this stupid. I think it was cool in the movie, but with them doing it for no reason at all, they start doing the like Wolf of Wall Street chest thump humming thing. And if you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, go see it. It's a fucking awesome movie. But Matthew McConaughey's character, he's kind of like the mentor at the beginning of the movie. He does this thing where like he beats his chest and he hums in a tune, kind of. And John Cena and the Usos started doing that for literally no reason. It's not explained like it's not like it's a Samoan thing that they've explained. They said, you know, the Usos taught me this Samoan war chant or something like that. No, they just start doing it for no fucking reason, and it's annoying, and it's dumb, and it's awkward, and it's weird, and they need to stop it. John Cena needs to stop. Weird fucking promo. It was just strange. Rollins and Batista. Uh, the whole thing stick to this match was nobody from either side, Evolution the Shield, was allowed to be at ringside. Only officials were allowed to be at ringside. So Rollins comes to the ring, waits for, we think Batista's music is going to hit. Surprise, it's Triple H. And then it's announced that he is the official special guest announcer for this match. So you see where I'm going with this. Triple H comes out and then introduces the special guest timekeeper, because when was the last time WWE had a match that went over the time limit? But the special guest official timekeeper is Randy Orton. So you've got Triple H and Orton at ringside. Batista comes out, does his entrance. Seth Rollins grabs the mic and says, you know, you guys did this, so I went ahead and got approved for 2 official special guest commentators, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. They come out, they come through the crowd, and they hop on commentary. And Triple H is sitting there yelling, no, you can't do this. This is bullshit. He puts on the commentary headset so that we can hear him say that, no, you're not allowed to do this. And the only reason we find out is apparently the Shield threatened Brad Maddox, the GM of Raw, to let them be official special guest commentators, and then they beat the shit out of him, I guess. Because then they were joking that, why don't you ask Brad Maddox, he's in the training room. So my guess is they convinced Brad Maddox to make them special guest commentators. So basically this went from a one-on-one to this match is going to most likely break down into a brawl type match. I actually thought it was great, and I didn't expect it. I didn't expect the Shield to somehow get into this match. I kind of expected Triple H to maybe pull something fishy, but I want more Dean Ambrose on commentary. He's actually pretty good. I think if he was actually focused as a commentator, he'd be pretty damn good. But as just a wrestler who shows up and puts the headset on, he's got pretty decent talking skills, which makes sense why he's decent in promos. Hunter hits Seth, so he wins by DQ. Match breaks down. Reigns hits the spear on Batista. They were gonna go for the triple power bomb, but they got distracted. Evolution rolled out and took off, and the Shield stood tall. So not a bad match actually. This match, besides the fact that it ended in DQ, Batista was on top pretty much the whole thing, but Rollins had a good amount of offense. It was a decent match. These guys just work. Both of these teams just work together really well as opponents and as teammates. We get a Paige versus Alicia Fox rematch. Paige gets a nice ovation. Basically, this is the same kind of match we saw a couple weeks ago, except without the cheap shot, which actually made this match worse because Alicia Fox kicked out of the Paige turner and then did that same tilt-a-whirl backbreaker that she does like 4 times in a match. So there's nothing special about it. It's just a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. And then pins Paige to win. And then proceeds to have another one of her psycho celebrations. Or this time it's a psycho celebration. Also, the commentators don't seem to know anything about these diva matches. Like they don't know the name of the Paige turner. They don't know Paige's finishing move. They just call the move that beat AJ Fox or AJ Lee. AJ Lee. It's almost like they don't know what to call. It's like when they didn't know what to call Daniel Bryan's knee, that it didn't have a name. It was just the running knee. It's just, and then again, the whole just Alicia Fox hits that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker like 3 or 4 times. It's like the only like power move that she can actually pull off. And it was a weird match. It didn't make any sense. I don't know why they're making Paige look weak. Like when she got jumped and she beat Alicia Fox, and she was beat down the whole match and then pulled the Paige turner out of nowhere. At least it made sense why she was getting her ass kicked the whole match. Alicia Fox had the upper hand in this match. Like, I don't know why. I mean, have they lost faith in Paige? I hope not. It just seems like the booking was not good here. It was poor booking to me, is what it was. And I'm a big fan of Paige, and I really hope that we don't see her slide into the mid card and basically drop the belt to Alicia Fox and then slide into the mid card. That would be bad. It'd be really bad. And I really hope that this wasn't like a transitional thing. I really hope that's not the case. So that happens. Oh, the Wyatts cut another promo, and Luke Harper actually speaks during this one, so he actually can talk, which is interesting. Another Wyatt promo, same old, same old. They're good. They're all good, but they cut like 3 of them a night now. It is becoming a little much, I think. I'm not gonna be one of those people that says, like I saw on R Squared Circle. I think Bray Wyatt's talking too much. It's like, so you want one of the best talkers right now in the WWE to stop talking? I agree that they're cutting maybe too many Wyatt promos, and they need to just cool it a little bit. But at the same time, he's good at it. Let him be good at it, Last Beat the Clock match of the night: Mark Henry versus Dolph Ziggler. Actually, pretty good back and forth kind of match. You kind of had a feeling neither of these guys was gonna beat the clock, so it was kind of just an exercise in, all right, how can we make it look like we're trying as hard as we can to win, but still let the clock run out. Time ran out just as Ziggler hit the zigzag on Henry. Because it was actually funny because Henry had Ziggler up and looked like he was going for the world's strongest slam, and he still had, 45 seconds left on the clock, but then he flips him up into just a normal power slam. And And then at that point, he could have hit like the world's strongest splash or whatever his gorilla splash, and it's just it felt really weird at the end. Like you knew neither of these guys was going to win. Like when you got to that point, you're like, okay, no, this isn't happening. So they're just burning clock now. RVD comes out on the stage to kind of celebrate, and then BNB Bad News Barrett runs up behind him and hits him with the bull hammer and cuts a promo on RVD while the crowd's going nuts for Bad News Barrett. So that happened. So yeah, like I said, I like the beat the clock matches. It gave the show a point. There was a lot less filler this week, which was nice. I was actually much more positive about this week than I was last week. Adam Rose comes out, and the crowd loves him. Whoever's in the bunny suit's got some dance moves. A lot of people say it's Zack Ryder, but we're not sure. JBL's comments on the bunny are always great. Dude really hates bunnies. Real Americans come out. Zeb cuts promos berating the crowd, basically normal heel stuff. Zeb wants to fight Adam Rose, but Swagger attacks Rose. But Rose goes into the crazy aggressive mode and clears the ring. Rose is one of those guys who his style of wrestling is very much. He's kind of very wily and he runs around and he escapes a lot. But then once you piss him off, he becomes very. He has like kind of those facial changes, and he becomes very aggressive and all that. So that's kind of what happened. We got to kind of see a little bit of that tonight. Swagger jumped Rose. Rose got very aggressive and knocked him out of the ring. The Rosebuds continued to party, all that stuff. Yeah, I don't. Adam Rose is kind of again. It's kind of how I feel with a lot of stuff. Is they need to do something. They need to have him wrestle. Like he's been here for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now, and he still hasn't wrestled. Like we get it, we get the gimmick. Have the guy wrestle for once. It could have been anybody. That's the weird thing is Bo Dallas premiered on SmackDown yesterday and wrestled. But Adam Rose has been on Raw for 3 weeks and hasn't had a match. I just don't quite understand it. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, the people don't like him, the fans." And it's like, dude, I don't know about you, but the UK crowd went nuts. They went nuts for Adam Rose. Like they were singing and the dancing, and it was crazy how much these fans were into him. Granted, like I said, it's the UK and he's from that side of the pond and all that. So, but they need to give him something to do because it just becomes stale of him coming out every week, doing the thing, doing his little party thing, but then not doing anything of substance. So they want him to get over. Let people can see that he can wrestle. So we got John Cena with the Usos versus Luke Harper with the Wyatt family. The crowd hates Cena in the UK. There are very few Cena fans. Like where you'll get kind of the dueling chants back and forth in the States. It was like 80-20 Cena sucks. It was weird. Not weird, it was just I don't know. They even got same old shit chants from the crowds at Cena. So that was, yeah. Again, the match just felt like they were running at half speed. I don't know if it's just because these guys, like, I don't know if they just don't quite have the chemistry or what, but the match felt off. Like I said, it felt really slow, even for John Cena. And a lot of people say, John Cena needs somebody to make him look good. Some people have said that. Neither guy really looked good in this match. Although Luke Harper did pull off a Hurricane Rana. For a dude that size to pull off a Hurricane Rana, that's pretty fucking impressive. So, but like I said, all the matches tonight just didn't feel good. I don't know if it's like because travel or because they've been doing their tour overseas and all that shit, and it's just weird, like fuck things up time wise or something. But it was everything felt slow tonight. So, The crowd continues. The crowd actually was not too into this match because they were too concerned with singing Adam Rose's theme song than paying attention to the match. It continued on pretty much like I think almost halfway through. The fans were still singing, you know, fucking Adam Rose's theme song. So kind of weird. Um, Rowan hops up on the apron, or Rowan tries to get involved, and the Usos send him packing. Bray Wyatt hits a running Sister Abigail on one Uso, then hits it on the other Uso. It was actually really impressive. He hit it almost like an RKO, and it was fluid. It was really interesting. He did it really well. I thought it was well executed. I'd like to see him do that more, kind of like a hit it out of nowhere kind of thing. Rowan jumps on Cena and causes the DQ. Bray delivers Abigail to Cena as the crowd sings. The Wyatts beat Cena up onto the stage, and then they leave him laying. So Cena got his ass kicked this week. First time in a couple weeks. A much better show than last week. Still not a great show, just because of how the matches went, but still a better show than last week. The beat the clock really helped with keeping it from feeling long, because there were matches that had a purpose. You know, they had some kind of goal to them. They weren't literally just there to be filler. So that definitely helped. But like I said, everything just felt slow, and I don't know why it felt slow. It just did. So yeah, I mean, I hope that maybe being back in the US and back to the normal time stuff will solve all that, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah. So we'll cover SmackDown real quick. All right, so we're covering SmackDown. We've got NXT champion Adam Neville versus Sami Zayn. See both these guys wrestle. Very impressed by them. I like their styles. They've got the very kind of high flying, quick styles. I like both of these guys a lot. I hope they both could come up very soon to add to the roster. So SmackDown taping actually begins. That was a dark match to start the night. This taping actually begins with Hulk Hogan coming out. Fans go crazy. Hogan basically just comes out to plug the WWE Network. Jimmy Hart's with him in the ring, and so Hogan plugs Legends House and the WWE Network coming to the UK soon, and then takes off. So that was well worth it. We find out that tonight is going to be the Usos versus Eric Rowan and Harper, and also Dolph Ziggler and Batista in a no DQ match. This match actually people say was really good. Batista versus Ziggler, the next match that actually was right away. It was, I guess, Ziggler had a lot of offense. Batista could have really just come into this match and squashed Ziggler, but Ziggler had a lot of offense, probably more than he really should have for not winning. Batista did end up winning the match, but people said this was a pretty decent match. So that's good to see that Batista is putting on good matches, is okay with giving guys offense, and it's nice to see Dolph Ziggler doing stuff and winning matches. It's nice. I hope they do something with Dolph Ziggler soon. I was hoping he'd be in like the IC title picture or the United States title picture at some point, but it's good that he's doing stuff. Cameron and Naomi defeat Eva Marie and Nikki Bella when the Summer Rae cost Eva the match. So again, more shit that apparently is just advancing Total Divas plot lines. So fuck that shit. We're moving on. Y'all better believe, because Bo Dallas makes his re-debut on SmackDown and comes out for a cheesy heel promo in the ring. He goes on to beat Sin Cara in under 4 minutes, and he's now using Stratusfaction as his finisher. So he's using... Okay, that's interesting. The off the top bulldog, up the corner post bulldog. And apparently he was encouraging Sin Cara not to give up and to keep believing during the match. So I don't know. Bo Dallas has never really struck too much of a chord with me. he's a good wrestler, but the whole Bolieve thing, I don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. Uh, Bray Wyatt comes out and cuts a amazing promo, talking about basically that John Cena, the C Nation is a cancer that has infected everything and all of this. It was a really good. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. I can't do it justice, but it was a really good promo. One of the better, where everything's good, this one stands out as being very good. Next up, Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio. Cesaro on commentary. Sheamus gets the win in what could be described as a good back and forth match. Apparently Cesaro tried to get involved in this match, so he's continuing to be heel. Alberto Del Rio, besides the RVD match on Raw, he had a great match with Daniel Bryan, and now this match with Sheamus. Like I said, the guy's got great in-ring ability. They need to do something with his character. They need to fix the character, kind of somehow, some kind of retcon, or give him something new to kind of make people interested again. Because the guy can wrestle, really, with anybody too. That's the best part. Vicky Guerrero comes to the ring. People hate her. She's interrupted by Adam Rose. Basically, Rose tells Vicky not to be a lemon. Vicky basically then ends up falling off the ring apron into the crowd of rosebuds. She gets paraded around being angry. It was a whole thing. Yeah, again, we really need to stop having Adam Rose not do anything. Give him a goddamn match. Even if he's not a great wrestler, even if he's not going to end up going over with his gimmick, at least let the guy wrestle. I'm sick of this just bullshit. That's what it feels like. If it just feels, like I said, Bo Dallas has his debut on SmackDown, technically a re-debut, but has his debut on SmackDown, has a match. Yeah, it was a 4-minute squash, but still, get your shit together. Just give him something to do. Fuck. I'm tired of ranting about it. So then, main event of the night, John Cena is out with the Usos for their main event. Bray Wyatt is obviously out there with his boys. The Usos get the win in what was a 10-minute match. So yeah, basically, this was not a good match from what I've heard. Just it had a bad ending, I guess. And I say, this was the last match of the night. I will say a few more things about it, and then I will get into a couple things that I want to cover. Like I said, it's just a bad ending, I guess. And then basically had the same ending as Raw, where John Cena and the Usos got left laying. So that's SmackDown. If any of you wonder why I barely cover SmackDown, why I don't watch SmackDown and just relay the information to you, it's because the value SmackDown is cheap. There is not enough for me to want to sit down for 2 hours and watch it. Storylines very rarely get progressed. It feels like an extra show. Because how in the games, the WWE 2K14, they have the major shows, the minor shows. SmackDown feels like it's teetering since the brand reunification. SmackDown feels like it's teetering on being a minor show. Like, I'd rather watch NXT than I would watch SmackDown. And I'm not saying that SmackDown needs its own belts again. We don't need to do the brand split again. But before the first brand split, important shit happened on SmackDown. You had the whole main roster there, storylines advanced, things happened. Now it just kind of feels like this is where all the fucking rejects go. Because, or not the rejects, but this is where we put the people who didn't get to wrestle on Raw. And there are still some good gems like Batista versus Ziggler. There's still good stuff that happens. But Batista versus Ziggler doesn't advance the Evolution Shield storyline at all. It's just a match. It just kind of happened. It had something to do with Twitter. So, yeah, that's why. If you guys if you guys want to ask why I shit on SmackDown, that's why. Also, so next week is go home shows. So depending on my schedule, because I started work and I am a busy guy and I'm tired all the time, and I'm also fat, and I also got Pokemon X, so I'll be busy. But depending on my schedule, actually, it really doesn't depend on my schedule. It depends more on whether or not anything interesting happens on SmackDown. If anything interesting happens on SmackDown, we will be doing the 3-show structure, where Raw gets its own episode, SmackDown gets its own episode, and then the pay-per-view will get its own episode. Most likely, I'll be doing just 2 episodes. I will be doing Raw and SmackDown on one, and then I will be doing the pay-per-view. Most likely, I will record that Sunday night after the pay-per-view, and it will go up Monday before Raw comes out. So that's kind of the schedule for next week. Because it's a pay-per-view week, I told you guys, obviously I'll put the schedule card up probably while I'm talking about this so you guys can read it. So yeah, that's it for Players Code Talks Wrestling this week. My apologies again for being a little late. And so check out everything else we have on the Players Code channel. We got lots of cool stuff next week. Next week's Watch Dogs, folks. And I look out for videos tomorrow. I most likely will be putting up an update video with some Titanfall, like I said I was going to do, because I got some stuff I want to tell you guys. So, keep a watch out for that. Watch everything else that's on the channel. Thank you guys very much for listening. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to, just because you're awesome and you like listening to me talk, which is probably not true. But anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.